Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. Today's date is Monday, September 27th, 2021. So this will have covered the week of September 20th through the 26th of 2021. So, not a ton of overall, well, you know what, I say that, but honestly, this was a pretty decent week overall. Like, it went fairly well. So, we're going to jump right on into the trophies before I talk, future plans and stuff. Let's get the trophy talk out of the way. So, we started out with Spy Hunter. I obtained the Platinum Trophy. So, this game, it looks like it took me about 2 weeks to get through. Just on and off playing at nights when we were boosting other games, and that's the reason for that. Like, I was actually, because we were rubber banding our controllers in Battlefield 4 for a few nights, and that made it very easy for me to just go back and play this on the Vita. So for the Platinum Trophy, it's not overly difficult, but I think it's a little bit harder than that 2 out of 10 that the guide on PSN Profiles has it, just because there's some obnoxious things that I'll get to later on. So, complete a mission without firing any weapons. You can do this on the tutorial mission. Fully upgrade any weapon. You have to fully upgrade at least 4 weapons, like 1 from each category anyway, for another trophy, and you should have more than enough points to upgrade all of them by the time you get the final trophy. You have to destroy 15 enemies in one mission. This one will most likely come naturally on some of the later missions where there's a ton of enemies. When it comes to fighting, I highly recommend using the swarm missiles, the shocker, the machine gun, and the flamethrower as your 4 weapons. That was the combination that I found to be the most effective personally, but other people might have other suggestions for that. You have to destroy 4 enemies, each with a different weapon in a single mission. That one is fairly easy, just as long as you know that it's there, and it looks like a lot of people get this one, just because they do take a while to cool off sometimes. Traveling 150 kilometers is going to come naturally while going for the Platinum. Using the shield to avoid significant damage. I'm not really sure what qualifies as significant damage, as I've said before, but I got it eventually pretty much just by playing the game normally. You have to get 10 kills with the flamethrower in a single mission. This one's easy as long as you know that it's there. You have to get intel on all the enemy vehicles by scanning them with the little button on the bottom right of your touchpad, because remember, this is a PS Vita game, so you have to scan all, I believe it's 14 different vehicles. It's fairly easy as long as you know the trophy's there, but there are some enemies that are not as common that only appear in a few sections of a few missions, such as some of the boats that only appear in a few missions. Okay, so for this trophy, this is the one I talked about before. You have to equip 4 fully upgraded weapons into a single loadout. You're going to want to do this regardless for one of the later trophies. So now we have a mission-specific trophy for the Eye in the Sky mission. You have to destroy 50 enemy vehicles in a single playthrough. This one should come naturally as long as you just start spamming the button. There's a little more than 50 in the mission, and you're going to want to destroy them all anyway to be able to get through it more easily. So it's not really difficult, just remember that you need to really hit everything, so just spam that attack button. Here you have a story-related trophy for completing the game. There are about 30 missions in this game. It's quite a few, even though most of them are fairly short. But yeah, there are quite a few missions. You have to get through a mission using only the shocker. You can again do this on the tutorial level. Traveling 5 kilometers through the air means, jumping off of jumps and ramps and stuff. So if you try to focus on going off ramps whenever you get the chance, you should get this one naturally. But you might have to grind it a little bit by playing some of the missions that have them in it, such as even the very first, the tutorial mission has some ramps in it. This one's a little bit tricky, spending 2 minutes with the invisibility device during a single mission, the cloaking device. I recommend doing this one on the Screamers mission because you don't have to do anything until like 6 minutes in. It'll fail you at like 6.5 minutes or something. So you can just keep spamming the cloaking button on that. That's the easiest way to do it. There might be other ways to do it. It's kind of a rare trophy, but that's probably the best place to do it at. Then you have to destroy 5 enemies by luring them into the Stinger road surface traps, but this can be done over the course of multiple missions, so this one will come naturally. Complete a mission using only the 50 caliber cannon. That one is going to be best done on the tutorial mission again. Complete the training mission, nothing difficult there. That's story related, first trophy you'll get most likely. You have to destroy 20 enemy boats and travel 20 kilometers on water. I knocked these out at like the exact same time, which was kind of cool. There's not that many levels with water on it, but as long as you go through the water whenever you get a chance and kill any enemies you see in it, then you should knock both of these out by the time you finish the game. You have to purchase and select a new paint job for the Interceptor. That's very easy. I'm going to come back to this trophy. You have to destroy the entire convoy in Rogue in under 60 seconds. I recommend spamming the swarm missiles and maybe even switching to the non-lock-on missiles as your other weapon or one of your other weapons just to try to knock this out quickly. Even it doesn't matter if you don't get through the mission very well or not, just as long as you knock out the convoy quickly. You have to complete a mission without taking damage or losing a reactor core, but this is actually very easy because a number of missions will take you out of a weapons truck toward the very end, and that will refill your health and ammo fully, so that's a good place to do it. This one, in the nuclear fallout mission, you have to defuse all the bombs in under 40 seconds. This is actually a pretty tight time limit, so you have to be pretty careful with this one. You have to use a lot of boosting, and you have to drive pretty much perfectly, so you don't get a whole lot of room on this one for error. Then you have to earn 150,000 total research points. I was a little bit short by the time I finished every other trophy in the game. I wasn't short by much, though, maybe a couple thousand. So for this one, I would recommend you replay, I can't remember which mission it was though, maybe the Rogue mission, I believe it is, and just go back in and blow up the convoy quickly using the non-lock-on missiles, and then just play through the mission and focus on trying to get multi-kills and shooting down any helicopters and stuff. And that's how you get more research points. You're going to get a very large amount just by getting the Spy Hunter Pro status on every mission. That one's going to get you probably like 125,000 naturally just by doing that. So for Spy Hunter Pro status on every mission, this is going to require you to do up to 4 things per mission. You're going to have to finish the mission with a certain amount of health left. You're going to have to find and destroy a comms vehicle on every mission. And this is almost every mission. A few missions mix up the objectives a little bit. You're going to have to complete each mission in under a certain amount of time. And you're going to have to find and photograph a black box, which is going to pop randomly out of a destroyed vehicle. So a few of these can be difficult. The one thing that makes this easier is that you don't have to do all the objectives in a single playthrough. You can do them over the course of multiple runs of each mission, which thankfully makes this trophy a heck of a lot easier than it would have been. But it is a little bit annoying on some missions, like the very final defensive truck defending portion of the Screamers mission, trying to complete the Spy Hunter Pro status for that mission just because the Screamers are really kind of hard to blow up along with the other vehicles. A couple of the comms trucks are in really difficult to get positions, and a few of the missions have fairly few enemies to where getting the black box definitely requires some luck. But for the most part, and some of the time limits are a little bit strict as well, so just try not to get hung up on stuff if you don't want to have to keep replaying missions. I mean, overall, again, it's not that hard of a platinum. It's like a 3 or so out of 10. It takes around 8 to 10 hours. But I probably would not recommend this game just because it just wasn't really that fun. Some of the Spy Hunter Pro stuff was kind of annoying. And it crashed on me like 3 times or something, or froze on me. It had problems a few times. So that could have just been my copy of it, though, because I have a cartridge, not the downloadable version, so that could be the reasoning. Next up, we have Maneater for the PS4. I obtained the Platinum Trophy. So I think I've talked about this the last couple weeks. So you're going to get a bunch of story-related trophies through here. Actually, through here, I believe, are all going to be unmissable story-related trophies. The evolutions will unlock by completing the story and finding all of the collectibles in the game. So it's pretty much going to come naturally while doing the 100% objectives for the game. So a bulk of your gameplay is not as much going to come from the story, but it's more going to come from completing all the objectives in each area of the game. There are 8 areas in the base game, and you have to complete all the objectives in all of them. So that's going to be both collectibles and specifically marked targets, as well as little side missions and parts of the main quest. But thankfully, the game keeps track of everything with a counter on top of the screen for every area. So it's really nothing too much to worry about. So you get 7 trophies for specific areas. The 8th area is that like starting beach area that you go back to midway through the game that has very little in it. It's a real small area, fairly easy to complete. That one doesn't have its own individual trophy, but all the others do. Then you have to kill the Apex Predator in each area. So again, there's 1 in each area, and a couple of the Apex Predators are a little bit tough if you try to fight them early on. Like, let's see if I can find it here. Like the Flatwick or Faltic Bayou, which is the first area you go to, has one of the tougher Apex Predators. And the one in the Gulf is kind of tough because he's the last one. He's a real high level. But destroy all the Apex Predators and you will get all of those trophies. You have 2 more story-related trophies down here that are out of order for whatever reason. Then you have your collectible trophies. There are 3 types of collectibles along with like the side missions and Apex Predators and specific targets and stuff. You have to find nutrient caches, which you will bite into and they will give you a bunch of stuff to upgrade with. License plates, which are usually up fairly out of the way, like up above the water. And the landmarks are actually probably about the easiest to get because they're pretty commonly everywhere. And then finally, you have to reach Infamy level of 10, which is going to require you to destroy a certain number of human boats and humans in general. Then once you do that, it will eventually spawn like a mini-boss type of enemy, whatever you want to call them, a hunter, and you have to kill that hunter and or destroy their boat. And that will give you a rank of infamy, and then you just have to keep doing that over and over again. The first, like, probably 5 levels or so go by pretty quickly, but the last few levels do take a while because you have to destroy quite a few boats, so that is going to be a little bit of grinding most likely, especially if you don't really work on it that much until later in the game. But if you do wait until later in the game to work on it, you'll be nice and big and overpowered to where it shouldn't give you too much of a problem. I didn't die too many times in this game. I usually only died if I just wanted to quickly, like, warp back to the grottos. And I died, like, once in the final battle just because I didn't realize that you could bite the torpedoes and send them back at the boat. I'll just go ahead and spoil that much of it, but nothing more, because you had to know that there was going to be a final boss fight in this game. It's an awesome game, though. Absolutely loved the game. It was a lot of fun. It was a fairly good little quick experience, which is nice, so it's not a game that's overwhelmingly long and time-consuming. It's rather short, because, I mean, I obtained the Platinum in, looks like 10 days, but I wasn't playing every single day, obviously. It's like a 10, 15, probably about a 15-hour Platinum, so it's not too time-consuming at all. It's a nice experience. Now, what's not so nice of an experience is the DLC Truth Quest, because it's bugged. And it's random as to who's running into glitches or not. I know that, like, Ghost had serious issues with it on the PS5. I had serious issues with it here on the PS4 with certain trophies, because I arrived at the Plover Island complex. I believe that that is a trophy somewhere. Yep, this trophy's supposed to unlock as soon as you reach the island. It didn't unlock for me. And then I beat one of the bosses, the Electric Great Whale, and that trophy didn't unlock for me, which I'm actually glad that me and Ghost were talking at the time. We were on mic, just talking and stuff, and thankfully he let me know to reset right there. And so what I was able to do was I just re-downloaded my save from before starting the DLC, which was fine because that meant, you know, I don't really lose any progress. I had only been playing it for like half an hour. But that's just extremely annoying that the game is glitched like that. And I don't know why it happened, because they had supposedly fixed it, but I don't think they actually did. It doesn't seem like they did. I know the PS5 version has been completely broken since the day this released, and I don't think it's been fixed yet either. And the bigger issue is that it's not as much the fact that the DLC is time-consuming or anything, because it's really not. It's the fact that if you have a trophy glitch and you don't have your save backed up to the cloud or something, you have to replay the entire game from the start and basically re-100% it, which is not something that I really want to do right now, because, I mean, that's a lot of time to invest back into a game that I shouldn't have to invest into it. I might try this again some on Sunday night, because, I mean, I'm recording this on Sunday night, so I might try it again for a few minutes and see what happens, and see if I can pop the first trophy or so, but I am worried about this, so we'll have to see what happens. Hopefully they start to address this and actually fix it. And also, I will say that this game also crashed a lot, sort of like Spy Hunter did. This one's crashed like 4 times on me, and it lags at times, so as much as I enjoy the game, the experience gets ruined a little bit by DLC trophies that glitch out. And the DLC is also like 15 bucks, so you would think that maybe they could make sure that it works before they charge you 15 bucks, but then again, that's the state of gaming these days anyway. And finally, we have Battlefield 4. We made a lot of good progress on it this week. We boosted like 3 times this past week, and we made pretty good progress. So for Dragon's Teeth, we finished the DLC by completing the assignment, so I guess I can mention the other trophies here. Winning 2 rounds of Chain Link is easy if you boost it, because no one plays that mode, ever. So you are going to have to boost this one in a rented server. but it's still very easy to do that way, and you're going to need wins anyway while you're going most likely for the other trophies, the assignments I mean. Spend 5 minutes using the ballistic shield. It's unlocked by completing an assignment, and then you just have to use it for 5 minutes, which is very, very easy. You have to play around on all 4 of the Dragon's Teeth maps, which would have been easy back in the day, but nowadays it's not because, well, there's, you know, no one playing these maps anymore. No one really plays the DLCs at all. 5 kills in a round with the Rower. It's a vehicle that you can pick up from like a weapons cache around the maps, and I think it's on each of the 4 DLC maps. Get 5 kills in a single round with it is very easy if you boost it. It would have been a little more difficult back in the day if you were trying to do it legit, but I recommend boosting it. So you can knock out all of these trophies relatively easily. As for the assignments, though, the funny thing about this DLC is that compared to China Rising, the assignments didn't take us that long. Like, I would say we had all of the assignments except for the last one knocked out in 3, maybe at most 4 hours. So it really didn't take us that long to knock out all the other ones. The main one is the final one, which requires you to play 10 hours on Dragon's Teeth maps. So basically, for a few nights, we had to just spin in circles, rubber band the controllers, just spin in circles on a conquest match on one of the maps, and just have the controllers rubber banded and just do that for an hour and then reset the lobby or just go to a new match, and repeat. And we did that a few different times to knock out 2 or 3 hours in a night, and it worked like a charm, so I would recommend doing it that way. Otherwise, the other DLCs in base game have been done for a while now, so we also made progress on Final Stand. So we played all 4 of the maps. That's very easy as long as you boost, just because no one plays the maps once again. Getting a kill with the Titan engines is a map-specific trophy, but again, it's an easy boosting trophy. It's at like the A flag on the hangar map, I think it is. Then you have to get a kill with the Icicle, which has to be done on a specific map, and the Icicles are a little bit finicky with like picking them up and stuff, but it's still pretty easy to get. And of course, this was the one hidden trophy in the game for some reason, which I don't understand. This trophy we haven't focused on because we're working on the assignments, because you're going to actually unlock this one naturally while going for all of the assignments in this DLC. There are only 8 assignments this time around, but they are kind of tougher this time, because so far we have, I'm looking at my list right now, I think I have 6 of the assignments left, so I'm not sure exactly which ones I already completed. But currently, I still have to affect 10 enemies with the M84 flashbangs for one. Then for another one, I have to get 19 DMR or carbine kills, because I'd already made a little bit of progress on some of these. Then I have to get 30 kills with the XD1 Accipiter, which is one of the vehicles for that Has Science Gone Too Far, as well as travel 3 kilometers in the vehicle, but it's like a randomly spawning vehicle on certain maps. Then we have one for destroying 10 vehicles and killing 25 enemies with the Rorsch MK1, which is, I guess, some kind of railgun, or it's mounted to a vehicle. Then we have to get 25 kills with the Shipanov 42, as well as spend 5 minutes in the air with the launch pad. I'm not really sure what that one is. And the final assignment is definitely the most obnoxious out of all of the ones probably in the entire game, because you have to get 10 wins on each DLC map, as well as play for 10 hours on Final Stand maps. I actually need to knock that down because it's down to 8 hours, because we boosted for 2 hours, so definitely some time left in this one, but I think that we're gonna probably have this game done maybe by the end of this week. Provided that we managed, if we can boost 3 times this week, we may very well have it done, because now we know about the whole spinning in circles for an hour at a time, just kicking the occasional random that pops in. So it's very much possible that we could have this game done soon. I hope that we will. I'd love to have it done before Battlefield 2042 comes out. I'm sure we'll have it done before then, because I don't think that's out till like November. So that's my hope for that game, and now we can go ahead and look at overall trophy numbers. We are at level 742, 16%, 21,271 total trophies, 541 platinums, 3,261 golds, 5,731 silvers, 11,738 bronzes. So what are the plans for this upcoming week? I'm really going to try to stream one night this week and finish that Fallout 3 run, not even an inebriated one, just get it done and just be done with it so I can start to focus on the idea of trophy streams in the future. But I don't want that hanging over my head any longer because, you know, we're 2/3 of the way through it. Might as well knock it out in a 2-hour stream on, like, Wednesday or Thursday night. It depends on when we're boosting, though, because Battlefield 4 is our current priority to finish it. So my plans right now for the rest of September are to finish Battlefield 4, possibly Battlefield 5, but I don't think I'm going to get it done by the end of the month because I'm saving it for Platinum number 555 just because I think it seems cool, even though I don't think most people care. As well as the DLC for Maneater, if it's fixed. If not, I may just have to come back to it at a future point when it is fixed. And supposedly they are releasing a second DLC for it at some point, but I'm not sure. In October, I want to work... Well, I mentioned The Division here. We'll see what happens. GTA 5, I've actually been looking a little bit into it because, like I said, I have my friend that has a really high-level account and all. And I think we could knock out the heists. And actually, it looks like the Elite Challenge for... Like, the Elite Challenges for the Doomsday Heist aren't terrible. Because there's, like, ways that if you fail it... if you fail the mission, I think you can just restart the finale of it and not have to do the rest of it. So it's not really even the Elite Challenges that I'm super worried about. It's more of that whole BS with the Criminal Mastermind challenges. I got to start up The Division 2 and might start up Aliens Colonial Marines if me and Ghost have the time to work on that. That's the only other online game I currently have any intentions to start along with Division 2, so just those two that are games that aren't on my list yet that I need to start. Then in November, we might go back to both The Outer Worlds and Borderlands 3, but those are obviously more subjective to time. And then, because they're not online, and then Black Ops 3 as well. And then in December, maybe hit up those remaining few far back games like COD Classic and Shadow of the Colossus, the remaining trophies from Uncharted 3, and the DLC for Conan Exiles. But I mean, for Conan Exiles, I'm just waiting for the DLC to go on sale because it's highway robbery. Same with Borderlands 3's DLCs. Outer Worlds Season Pass is fine and it's constantly on sale for 20 bucks, but I think I can get it for less. So that's the current plans for this upcoming week. I actually really need to probably get started on Platinum number 550. I issue you guys the same challenge I've issued in the past couple of trophy updates. Please try to make a guess as to what that Platinum is. I will say it once again that it is a PS3 game with no online. It's a bit of a meme game. It's a part of a series of 2 total games. I don't know if it has any other region versions or not. And, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. Some people have guessed, like, Africa, and that was a good guess, but no, too expensive for me right now. That might be a good future milestone Platinum, though, just because it's like an OG meme type game. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already. As for schedule for this week, like I said, I want to do a stream during the middle of the week just to knock out what's left of Fallout 3's challenge run and finally be done with it. And then once that is done, maybe work on an easy Platinum or 2 just to start working the numbers up toward 550. But I will say I'm probably going to be busy this coming weekend because it's my birthday. My 26th birthday is on this coming Sunday, the 3rd of October. So very excited for that. I don't know what I'll be streaming this weekend, but I've got some various ideas that I want to do for these trophy streams. I've actually got a few different ideas. One of them is to go back, and people have suggested this, like I know Simon suggested this recently, like maybe even going back on a dummy account and seeing how quickly I can Platinum Fallout 3 and 100% it and streaming it. Might be interesting. Just the fact would be that there would be a lot of, you know, glitches and issues running into it later on, or even if it was a video series or something. I'd love to consider doing something like that, just because I think it would be kind of fun, because it's very unlikely now that we're ever going to see another Fallout game on a PlayStation console, including, you know, remakes. They're probably going to be all stuck on Xbox, unfortunately, maybe on PC as well. So that was an idea. I have an idea for a Platvember, but I have to finalize ideas for that. I'll bring more into that later on. And I want to stream some scary games in October, but that'll be a little bit later on in October. And then just, you know, standard streams where I just play, you know, random games and work on trophies, or maybe, like, start it out easy with, like, knocking out 5 Platinums in one stream or something, And, you know, we'll see about all that. So, like I said, we'll see where things go in the near future. Obviously, there's always the issue of online servers and stuff that make a lot of changes into things. It looks like Division 1 is still going fairly strong, though, so I'm not too worried about those servers. Same with Black Ops 3, especially since it's only zombies at this point in the campaign. So I'm not overly worried about those, really. And then Division 2 is obviously still fine, and Aliens Colonial Marines would be the one to worry about because it's PS3, so we'll see if we can knock that out or not. So, again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys will tune into some videos and any streams that I do this week, and I will see you guys for the next video.